Hey guys, it's me, Miss Jaidynn, your fierce, and guess what? It is that time of the week. Yes, that is right. It's time to review episode 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Are you ready? Yes, ma'am. Here we go. This week, I have a very, very, very special guest. You know her. You love her. She is the one and only very lickable SLUTISHA! Yay! We got Miss SLUTISHA in the house, honey. Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, she is on sale for only $5 per lick. You see that? That's quite tasty. I'm so happy to have my twin sister, who's the biggest thought in America, on this episode today. I'm so excited to have you here. You're amazing. Yes, titties! You better work those titties out, make them pop. Work those titties out, lollipop. Y'all like my song? Anyways, let's talk about season 8. Episode 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race. It was another great episode. I'm so excited. The episode starts out with Cynthia Lee Fontaine's elimination. I was so sad because I really love Miss Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I think she's amazing. I'm so sad that I'm not gonna get to see her cuckoo. Miss Robbie Turner is talking about, you know, how she's disappointed in herself because she is an actor and she was messing up. She had a Jaidynn to her fierce moment. Yes, honey, that's when you can't remember anything and you get all up in your head. I tend to do that a lot, honey. Every day of my life is a struggle, a constant struggle. Maybe I need some medication. I need some good old medication. That's what I need. I think my sister Derek Barry needs a little bit of medication too. She starts twerking. Yes, just because you know how to twerk don't mean you got soul, sis. But I love you though. So the episode is starting and Miss Bob the drag queen walks in purse first. Purse first. Purse first, purse first, purse first. And I was like, yeah, she better walk in purse first. You got that same old ugly purse from episode, what was that, episode 1? I think it was, yeah, episode 1. And I said, yes, she better keep that purse in the frame. I live for it, honey. Hashtag purse first. This week's challenge I would have really loved to have. It is a new wave band challenge. And I think that would have been perfect for me. It would have been right on my alley because I love singing and dancing. My favorite episode of all of the episodes was Glamazonian Airways, my season, and I live for it. I had tons of fun. The girls split up and they have to split up into 3 teams. The first team is Team Bestie and it's Kim, Robbie, and Naomi. The second team is Team New York, which is Acid Betty, Bob, and Thorgy, and Team Leftovers, which is Derek, Naysha, and Chi-Chi DeVane. Which team would you like to be on? So even though the teams they pretty much picked themselves to be in, there's already some tension because you have Bob the drag queen and you have Thorgy going back and forth because Thorgy, she says she has an ear for music. I didn't even know she played any musical instruments. Surprise! But yeah, so she's saying she has that ear for music and she knows what she's doing. But then you have Bob the drag queen, you know, who wants it her way. And girl, they are already arguing. And I was sitting there thinking, they are already starting already. How y'all a team and y'all sitting over here arguing all the time? What's wrong with y'all? On Team Leftovers, you got these girls that are going back and forth mainly because of the costuming. I get what they're saying. You know, I understand that Derek doesn't want to come down the runway in, you know, a cardboard box. So I understand, you know, but there are ways to talk and ways to work things out, you know, instead of just offending someone. Apparently Chi-Chi used her look for this week in her skating. I'm assuming, I guess that was her neon look, her skating look. But she used that, so she was just like, well, look, y'all handle this, y'all good, honey. Look, I gotta go over here, I gotta make my costume, whatever, it sounds good. So the girls go to record a song with Lucian Piane. I love Lucian Piane. He's so sweet. He's so amazing. And Chi-Chi's team, they're doing the geometry song. You know, for the most part, you know, they weren't too terrible at at recording the vocals. So there wasn't anything like ultimately special, you know, just Lucian is giving his critiques or whatever. And, you know, they're adjusting and they're listening to it. But my sister Derek Barry, honey, she was trying to Christina it out. She's like, ah! I was like, yes, girl, you better show the fish that you are multi-talented, honey, that you a triple threat. You better do that, honey. Get her a good old record deal. So Lucian is telling Derek, no, we need you to talk and not sing. It seems like Chi Chi is the only one that's getting the concept of the whole song, according to Lucian Pianic. Team Chicken Wings, they're going up there and they are getting their critiques from Lucian, and he's just talking to them about, you know, just being more rock and roll, you know. And I agreed. I was just like, okay, I could see that, you know. It's kind of hard to get some, you know, drag queens who don't rely on being like rock and roll drag queens to be rock and roll. So I was like, oh, y'all got y'all's work cut out for y'all. But I mean, they did okay in the rehearsal, yelling into the mic. But, you know, I was just like, oh, girl, honey, they might be lip syncing soon, honey. Bob's team, or team party, whatever you want to call it, Bob is starting to have issues with Lucian because he doesn't understand like what he's saying. Because now I could understand what Lucian was saying because it did kind of sound like it was part of a musical, you know, and not the sound that they were looking for that genre of music, you know. And I was just like, all right, Miss Bob, honey, you got some big old elephant balls, because, girl, you are talking to a judge, honey, that, honey, may not be in your favor if you in the bottom, too. So the girls are painting, and Chi Chi DeVayne brings up some of her struggles in life. She talks about, you know, how she works multiple jobs. She was in big debt. I think we're gonna need to set up a GoFundMe for my sister. Luckily for me, I'm not tens of thousands of dollars in debt. Thank God, you know, I wasn't that. But I can kind of, you know, understand where she was coming from when she kind of said that, you know, it's kind of hard to come to the show and not have looks that you feel, you know, that are show ready, or, you know, that don't look expensive. Bless her heart, honey, because the struggle is realistic. I can relate to Thorgy as well, because, you know, when you do get on a show and you feel like you're giving it your all, and even though you feel like, okay, I may not have done as good on this challenge, but this challenge, I feel like I nailed it, but then you still lose. It kind of sucks. And I can completely understand, you know, how she feels, you know, with that. It just kind of sucks. And I really like Thorgy, and I think she's so talented and so sickening, but I kind of feel like she's kind of underrated, kind of, you know, at this point. And I really would like the judges to like really give her some credit for, you know, everything she's doing, because, honey, she's slay. So up next, the girls have to prepare to do their live performance in front of RuPaul and all of the judges. First of all, before we get to that, I gagged on RuPaul's look tonight. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it from the top to the bottom. I think I might make a good old replica of that costume in a different fabric. I love everything about it. I love the fabric. I love the look. I was like, yes, honey. Miss Naomi Small, she's not the only one that ain't got legs for days. So does RuPaul. And SLUTISHA, ain't that right, girl? She got legs and a pussy for years. How? So the girls go on stage, and the first group to perform is the Street Meats. And I'm telling you, the Street Meats were eating the competition. I'm telling you, they had the choreography down, they had the looks down, they had the oohs and ahs, and they by far had the bar raised all the way to heaven, you know, before the other girls even stepped out. The next group is Dragometry. Now, this group, it was okay. I didn't mind the song. You know, the song was okay. It just seemed like the intensity wasn't there. Also, my sister Derek just seemed kind of stiff. She did seem kind of like not in it. She seemed like she was in her own world. But I must say that Chi Chi DeVayne was really giving it over there. I must have to give her props. She was giving it over there, and so was Naysha Lopez. She was giving it all she had. I do feel like, as out of the three, Derek Barry was the least entertaining in that group. I just wish Derek would have like committed a little bit more to the role that was given. The last group was Lead Chicken Wings. And Lead Chicken Wings, honey, they were serving it. They gave me life, eternity, everything that I needed to survive. I really lived. Like, I think their song was absolutely hilarious all the way through. You can hear Mama Ru, you know, laughing and chuckling the whole entire time. So I think they did really good. Out of the three, I may have picked the very first group because I just liked how much work they put into it with the choreography and everything. But, you know, I must say the chicken wings were very funny. After all three teams performed their song. It was Time for the Runway. This week, I'll tell you who I was living for and who was I dying for. This week, I was living. When I tell you living, I'm telling you, she brought me to life, sent me to heaven, floated me around on the clouds with Aladdin, honey. It gave me everything. Naysha Lopez. I think she has probably one of my favorite costumes in Drag Race history. That neon was everything. Everything that I needed to survive, plus more, honey. That is the survival kit. I loved that, honey. It was sickening, it was fitted, it was flawless. I absolutely loved it. Someone who I was dying for, unfortunately, was Chi Chi DeVayne. Compared to the other girls, it's kind of plain. But, however, I do give her props, because I will say that girl whipped up that costume in a day, because she had already used her neon costume, but she whipped up her costume and went out there on the runway, and she still did what she could, and she served it. Sometimes in the competition, she may not have been able to afford a fully rhinestoned or beaded outfit or whatever it may be, but honey, she made it work. She made her costume that fit her well, and she worked it. So overall, after everything, Robbie Turner's team ends up winning. And I must say, at the same time, I could definitely see how they won. They did have a lot of energy, and their song was absolutely hilarious. So I'll say, I could agree with that. Now, I did love Bob's team as well. I did love that they had, choreography, and it seemed like a well thought out actual singing group. But, at the same time, I feel like they both did a really, really good job. After the judges' critiques, it is time for the lip sync for your life. And this week, unfortunately, the bottom two was Chi Chi DeVayne and Naysha Lopez. Now, I would not have put Naysha in the bottom two, honestly, simply because I feel like, Naysha's runway was flawless, and she still did good in the challenge. Was she just absolutely amazingly outstanding? No. But I still feel like she did really good in the challenge, and I feel like she still served it, regardless. The music starts, and the girls are beginning to twirl. Now, before the lip sync even started, honey, I know Miss Chi Chi DeVayne, honey, she eats. So I was just like, oh Lord, honey, here we go. First of all, I must say, Chi Chi DeVayne, she's gonna slay a stage. But I must say, Miss Naysha Lopez, honey, she was keeping up, honey. She was splitting and cartwheeling and flipping and doing everything, honey, she could, honey. She was working that bussy right on out the door, honey. Here comes Miss Chi Chi, honey. You already know. She's another dancing diva from the South. I'm telling you, she ate, honey. She high kicked, she split, she did everything else. In the end, Chi Chi DeVayne gets to stay, which means Naysha Lopez had to be sent back home. Now, I'm a little bit sad because I really, really like Naysha Lopez, and I really, I'm really a fan of Naysha Lopez. I think she's flawless. I think she's so sickening, and it kind of sucks that she had to go. But, that's just how the competition works sometimes. This episode overall was a really good episode. I enjoyed watching it. I really hope that you did enjoy watching it as well. There are some things that if I was a judge, there was a couple of things that I would have judged differently, because I think that, I probably would have put my sister Derek in the bottom. But, sometimes it's good to, get another chance at life and get that close call, But yeah, so that was my review of episode 4. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Y'all give it up one more time for my very special guest who was silent the whole time. SLUTISHA! Yes, go! Thank you for coming. You and your boobacy. I'm gonna pay her booking fee. I'm gonna pay her $5 and lick a titty and tell her to get out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. I release videos every Wednesday on my YouTube channel. And I love you guys, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!